Right. So I'm going to show y'all the accusations I'm receiving today because they're insane. This is the person sending it to me. And they claim that my grandmother's body is going to be exhumed. Which, if that's true, I hope they do. My grandmother died in a hospital after 5 weeks of, she got pneumonia after a hip transplant. I had a theory at the time that my aunt was responsible because my grandmother was feeling better and she was supposed to be coming home, and I was waiting at the condo for her to come home and everybody else to go away, and then she just died. But a couple of days before that, my aunts were at the condo freaking out because they had lost a fentanyl patch, and they told me that if I found it not to touch it because it would kill me. And when my grandmother died a couple of days later, I had suspicions that my aunt had found that missing fentanyl patch and just given my grandmother a little bit of it. But I could never prove that. So I never verbalized it. I never told anybody that I had those thoughts. And now they're saying, oh, they think your grandmother was poisoned and they're exhuming her. That's wonderful. That's absolutely amazing. It sounds like something that my aunt should not be doing if she's responsible, because they will catch her. Like, I'm assuming that she knows what killed my grandmother, and she's hoping that if she can have them say, oh, she was poisoned, it's the granddaughter. But the thing is, my grandmother died in the ICU, and she was hooked up to all these machines. They have video cameras, and those video cameras would show exactly who was by my grandma's side in the hours before she passed away. And they wouldn't show me because I wasn't staying at the hospital with her. I was very, very rarely at the hospital with her at that time because hospitals make me uncomfortable. The family made me uncomfortable. I was an unmedicated schizophrenic. I was uncomfortable. So I spent most of my time wandering around in the woods, waiting for my grandmother to come back home and life to go back to normal. So that's what's happening now. My grandmother is apparently going to be exhumed, and my aunt is likely going to go to prison. That's fun. They're like, oh, are you going to put a legal injunction? Why would I try to stop it? I didn't do anything wrong. So I have no reason to try to stop this. If my aunt is doing this to try to put me in prison for her crime, she's going to get caught. And I think that's hilarious. And if my aunt didn't do that, I'm sorry that I just accused her. But I've always had that suspicion, and my aunt is perfectly willing to say whatever she wants when she has suspicions about me, so why shouldn't I verbalize something when they're threatening to put me in prison?